Alrighty then, gamers. In the year of our Lord Ishiwatari Daisuke, 2024, February 18th, approaching 5 p.m. CET mark on this fine Sunday evening. So that means Weekly Bounty Hunters FT7 is about to kick off again. If it's your first rodeo with us, we are a weekly 1st to 7 show match event for players of all skill levels and regions, although we're of course heavily leaning towards the AMEA scene, as we've been European based since time immemorial. Yeah, the name of the game tonight is, as per usual, Guilty Gear Strive. I'm your usual host QK, Captain Dumbass on the mic once again, talking you through our full 7 matches tonight. So let's get the pleasantries and take a peek at what's gonna happen in just in a bit. So fairly condensed card in regards to player nationalities today. We've got actually a lot of Finns. Once again, we got 5 Finns, 3 UK players, 2 German players, 2 Norwegian players, as well as 2 Slovakian players duking it out tonight, consisting or our 14 players condensed into a nice spread of matchups as well, other than the 3 Leo matches out of those 2 being Finns. I think like everybody in Finland has had or has currently in their pocket a Leo sub character. It feels like it's really a land of Nagas and Leos. It feels like sometimes. Okay, let's take it from the top, starting in the slot number 1. So, Matcha, my second appearance since her long-awaited comeback on Bounty Hunters. And to refresh your memory, we're talking about pretty much an OG player from Exert days. But before, she didn't really get her toes properly wet with Strive. So now on a little bit of a training arc to speedrun to the intermediate skill bracket. And I think this is, I think my streaming right now as well, so maybe worth to drop a follow if you are interested in her point of view. Does this work? Yeah, I think this works. So we can check her out at the moment. She's gonna be playing in the first one tonight, and her opponent today, Shivo, who unfortunately has only had an opportunity to play once on Bounty Hunters, has signed up so many times, has had a couple of cancels midway, but now finally we'll get another match of Shivos. Had their debut rather a long time ago, if I recall correctly, and took it pretty convincingly as well. So we're gonna see how it develops from here on out. On the second matchup slot, we got our card is fairly back and forth in terms of skill levels tonight. In the second one, got big names. Tomi, basically the bringer of 7 6s, has delivered us 3 down-to-the-wire matches in a row on Bounty Hunters so far. And probably no reason to believe that it wouldn't be the same case tonight as well. Kaz, on the other hand, one of our most active current bike and regulars on Bounty Hunters, I think has had a couple of really rough matches recently, because Cass has been put through that, decently high-level gauntlet, and would be another pretty tough one tonight, because Tomi is through and through Zato specialist, never willing to give up that character, no matter what Ishiwatari says about the balance changes. On the third slot, we've got an interesting one. So ZoKH as Leo, going against one of his sub-characters. This will be Blodboen's... Blodboen? I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Maybe Blodboen is okay. A Norwegian Asuka player on their first appearance on Bounty Hunters. Very interesting character to watch. A lot of player expression goes into this character as well in terms of how do you manage your cards, which test case you use, and you know, ZoKHiZ does have probably, I'm not sure if ZoKHiZ has experience against Asuka, but knowing, you know, Shady is always available, perhaps has had some opportunities to practice, but probably should know Asuka tricks through and through, being a pilot of the character himself. For the fourth one in the mid slot, we got another newcomer in the form of Drowsy Kat, Kai player from UK. This was supposed to be against Crevet initially, but we had to, through technical difficulties, find another player to replace. So Ehmu, on a short notice, stepping in to pilot that Happy Chaos. Ehmu basically plays two characters at the moment actively, out of which being one of them being the Chip, and then I believe the Happy Chaos is the weaker character at the moment. I forgot if Ehmu finally got their Happy Chaos win on Bounty Hunters yet, but I think not. Still on the hunt for the big W. In the fifth slot, we get a Finnish Mirror. Another very interesting one. We're gonna be seeing Setsu for the first time on a Leo. So this is a very strong character that has cruised through Baiken. Setsu's RAM was, of course, fairly phenomenal looking, and now switching to Leo. Not sure if it's a long-term character switch or if it's just a, you know, little bit of a side tangent to get more experience. But we are talking about a player who is basically, I would say on the sort of like right below the top echelon of tournament winners in Finland. Probably can't match like reasonably the likes of like Shady, Rygand, or Solid, but I think really like below that, very close runner up. And of course KS is a long-time Gotluis player. Amazing games as of late. Had a little bit of a hiatus from Bounty Hunters, but is back once again and showing some damn good stuff. And I think our last newcomer of the week, Yo, representing, let me remember what that car, wait a second. That's English flag like, so you representing UK, derp, QK moment. I'm gonna go against Maria Nagoriyuki. You know that we are in for some wild times when Maria enters the fray. And then finishing off the evening with Pokey versus Zat. Two basically regulars of the Bounty Hunters franchise. Pokey on a tear. Let's see if Zat can put an end to the reign of terror of this, you know, I would say Emperor of the intermediate bracket or newcomer of the whatchamacallit, the advanced bracket. But let's circle back to our first match, because it's basically 5 p.m. CET. It's pretty much close to the go time. In fact, the players can press the play button if they want to. I think I see Mai as well as Shivo in the lobby. So Sin versus Axel Gaming for our first one tonight. I think in terms of what Sin has to offer, nothing like super special in Strive for how many characters have to approach this matchup. Of course, Sin has Beak Driver, which does give him a little bit of extra range for some of those RPS situations, depending on what kind of ranges the Axel player wants to give Sin. But generally, no matter who you are, it's Axel who gets to usually have the first say in terms of how the matchup starts and sort of revolving. And starting up with Bar Slash, another really great tool that has been buffed in one of the recent patches. Don't really have to necessarily resort to this, although this would be your layer 1. Let's see the snail. Might chooses to go in and try to take care of the minus frames of the snail with an instant air dash. Weapon block, but I wonder if Mai does have the information on how to punish the reversal super. She did play Exert, so if memory serves her correctly, she might be able to punish maybe the next coming reversal super. Of course, the trick is the jump between those hits, otherwise Axel will just end up being pretty safe. Minus, but decently safe. I pull them up to the ground with the low follow-up of Rensen. And approaching to the other side. That was a really smart choice for Shibo to go in with a 2K anti-air. Because if the opponent manages to sort of cross over to the other side already, then your anti-air options such as like 6P or 2S will be much weaker than from the front. With the OTG. Oh, again with the great bait. Let's see this time. Yeah, there we go. But Shibo already was on the same layer, ready to RC. Didn't quite get the anti-air though. And Mai is gonna have a wall break. Still anybody's game. This is not a hard knockdown. And against these, oh, nice instant Edison gets it. Doesn't quite get the punish, but gets the RPS on the landing since Shibo was quite not ready to go for those, perhaps those 2K anti-airs on the landing frames themselves. Grab. Quite have the tension to activate one vision here. Be really careful by taking her sweet time. Frame trap with that rainwater. Ooh, frame trap with the low follow-up of frames, and there we go! Forcing Shibo to burst. No reaction against the command grab, and this should be a kill because Mai is not going to be able to get enough burst in time. Shibo grabbing the first one. I do kind of, now that I think about it, I actually forgot to give my my matchup memo to Mai. Because the past couple of weeks we've been scrimming and labbing character together quite a bit, and I did have a sort of fat memo of Axel matchup tips, but now that I think about it, I forgot to give it to her. So I guess we're just, fuck it, we're gonna do it live with our legacy knowledge. RPSing against those cancels after 5 heavy from Sin. Knowledge on Shibo's part, and the last throw or a low crush in the form of rainwater once again. And knows that it is minus, but the spacing doesn't quite allow Mai to hit a 2K after that. Ooh, that was interesting. Just willing to go into a heavy button and waiting for Shibo to try to run through the whistling winds. Of course, Sin is fairly strong against the whistling wings, but you have a long-reaching disjointed move in the form of Big Driver. Misconfirm here. And Shibo pushing the advantage. Does have the 50 meter. Ooh, quick. Whistling winds there preventing the jump from Mai, but Mai was blocking as well. That's a lot of minus. Chooses to go with the DP this time. Into corner pressure. Mai is very low on stamina, but still has the meter. Shibo choosing to use the burst here. Let's see if that ends up paying up. No, it's actually going to be a big loss. Heading into the last round here with Mai having access to full burst. Nice. It's a DP conversion and a counter hit close slash. The wall stick. Yeah, and was a little too short on tension, so have to go with the wild assault. Nice combo into the wild assault once again, but Shibo punishing the combo drop. Here goes the RTL. Let's see if Shibo has a punish. Oh, never mind. Mai spending the full stick of butter on that RTL. Basically forcing Shibo to consider, or kind of like just hold it, because the RTL's reversal was coming, evening it while one each. Let go of the low block there, but immediate DP responded with a burst from Shibo. Now, if there is a character who you would love to burst immediately after DP, I guess it is Sin. For Sin is the only character in the game who can just transition meterless into his best close slash or 6K offense as soon as you hit that reversal. So there is some merit to bursting immediately, even if the DP itself doesn't really deal a whole lot of damage. And of course, Axel would always like to, like whenever, ooh, fully charged Whistling Winds here gives a little bit of a combo. Axel is one of those characters who would, as soon as a rushdown character touches him, he would like to burst you back to neutral if possible. As anti-air, the 1-2 big beak. Matcha running a little low on health here. Double jump, not hitting the jumping button though. The downside of that low follow-up of Rensen is that it has no anti-air hitbox whatsoever, so if you are hitting an air button, it will basically give you a clean punish every single time. Rensen is the big stop sign once again, that one move that generally throughout the ages has made or break, made or broke Axel Low's gameplay at neutral. Going for a early burst here, a little bit of fireworks, but Shivo was not, fortunately for Mai, was not in range to punish there. And in zoning once again, here comes the command grab. One of ways for Axel to sort of introduce different kind of stimuli to react to for the opponent. Nice instant air dash jump slash and goes into a full combo. With the back jump K, able to avoid Mai's interception trajectory and take the round for themselves. Here we go with the jump again. Of course, even if we're talking about a character such as ZoKHiZ, who does have quite strong ground play, or rather ground-based footsies, it's just Axel is one of those characters that just force you to play his game. You would have to be like an... Yeah, I don't think there is another character who really gets to sort of contest Axel at neutral, other than Happy Chaos, of course. And only third point for Shivo. The crux of the matchup, of course, is that you do need to get close to Axel. Axel is fairly weak at point blank range, does have that extremely fast 5K low profile, sorry, 2K 5 frame low profile, but other than that, just doesn't have any sort of maneuvers that really shine through, or sort of what's the word I'm looking for, that would separate you from other characters. Nice instant air dash prediction once again over that too heavy. One of the buttons that you really want to try to jump or air dash over from Axel Low. It is one of those big stop sign buttons on the ground that kind of force you to keep jumping. In addition to Rensen, of course. Oh, I think that was a very early dash from Shivo, but ends up just completely whiffing. Go RC, goes for the throw a little too early here, still has the corner, and finds the way in once again. Into 2K6 heavy, yes, we got the wall break, but this is kind of tough. You are back to neutral with a soft knockdown against a zoner character. It's basically the same stuff. Axel, Happy Chaos, you name it. Characters like this that you would always love to wall break if possible. But then again, you have to work with what you got. It's not like you can choose to not do the wall break unless you had a low wall slump, right? So again, the command grab seems to be that one ace card in Shivo's pocket that has been sinking in every single time so far. Fully charged Whistling Wind, there we go! That was exactly what I was talking about earlier. With those disjoints, you can actually poke through that Whistling Wind. It is not scene specific either. A lot of characters, if you have, you know, half screen reaching disjoints, you can actually poke through that. Reversal. Is this gonna hit cleanly? Yes, indeed, and delivers just enough damage to take the round as well. It's another weakness of ZoKHiZ that a lot of his block strings have gaps that can be mashed through with reversals. And I think Peak Driver out of most cancels, unless you are canceling a heavy button, are gonna be interruptible with a DP and or a reversal super. There we go, very patient after too heavy. Nice, evading the big R, the Rensen. Waiting for the reversal super. Shibo chooses to not fire it this time, so the RPS is developing. Nice jumping, gets it confirmed as well. Make sure that we get it. And through the wall into this situation once again. Soft knockdown, so Mai will have to find her way in. Does so with an Elk. Able to jump out of that command grab this time. There we go. I think that was not a reaction though. Mai was already committed into a dash jump, but happened to come at a very decent timing. And that command grab is extremely heavy on recovery. Often enough, even if you backdash it kind of like full screen, which, you know, a lot of players opt to do, you can still have decent amount, like enough frames to just dash in. And even if you don't get a punish, you kind of get to pressure Axel. Clean hit. One more for Mai. Finds it with a 6K. Yeah, go with the most basic stuff. Really hard to backdash out of that because that reaches like almost half screen away. There's like nothing that really stands out about 6K otherwise. It's just lots of active frames and lots of reach. Really quite a decent meaty tool. Ooh, nice air dash over that that 2S. The air game, you know, even though Axel is fairly good at anti-airs, the jumping game is gonna be basically basically a crux of your game plan. Ooh, was Mai actually able to protect herself in time? Yes, indeed! Jump over, jump heavy. Missed the link there on the jumping combo. Oh, this is gonna... No, that's actually not gonna make the command grab win. I was almost getting hyped here. But the input frames of RTL, I think, just running out just a little too fast. Too heavy into lots of plus frames, goes in with that throw. Too early on the throw. By just going back and forth, but not able to find the trajectory to jump in. That's another weakness for ZoKHiZ, that you don't have a lot of jumping buttons that reach very deep. So stuff like just 2K from Axel is going to be able to low profile your jump ins fairly convincingly. Got a little bit of pressure from Shibo. Yeah, there it is, the 2K on the landing once again. Got an overhead with a hoof stomp and a close slash. Saving the stamina this time. Good tech from Shibo. Potentially one hit away. Mai has the full meter ready to go once as well. Ooh, going for the Red Wild Assault with 5B, which does make you +3 there. Right, the command grab once again finds its mark, not delivering too much decisive damage at this point. Checking if Shibo wants to press a button, but perfect spacing from Shibo. There we go, there's the backdash reaction to those command grabs. If Mai keeps having that on point, this could be like one of the most important things that she might be able to utilize to sort of swung the momentum here. But now the reversal super should be hitting on that 2K, yes indeed. Jump out of the command grab, it's getting better. Mai is learning live on screen. Perhaps did not have the most sparring partners for this week, as, you know, Axel is a fairly rare character indeed. But she's one of the most demonic players in terms of being able to absorb information during games. Ah, ended up being a trade there. And the trade does not go in Mai's favor. Shibo getting another round in his name. But I wouldn't be surprised if Mai is able to keep composure here and not crumble under the pressure. This should be still, whatchamacallit, a potential run back.
Mankind knew that.
So we've seen a lot of good adjustments from Mai so far. And the burst bait a little too far away to get the punish. Now fully charged Whistling Wind, Mai checking, but not committing too much. On the other side, nice delay there from Shibo. If they were to unleash that 2S a little too early, Mai would have just probably blazed through. Nice jump. Do we get the punish? Not quite. That must have been like a couple of frames too late. Now follow up on Rensen, catches Mai out of the sky. The second hit of DP. Frame trapping into close slash. BMB combo onto the other side again, but low on stamina. Won't be able to have any standard conversions here. And I think one of the downsides of, or like one of the things that Mai still hasn't like gotten completely up or under control is, you know, converting into RCs when the stamina meter is low. It's one of those more advanced things on, one of those advanced things to learn on Sin that you can improve your, you know, combo consistency. To the other side once again, got checked by 2P, but that 2P when not cancelled into anything should be pretty minus for Axel. This is the command grab finisher. Here we go, 2K2D, immediate burst from Shibo. That was gonna be a killing combo. Both players looking for one hit. Do we got the, oh, we didn't. Mai was just too short on stamina. Literally needed one more stamina for the Kara cancel, and I think she tried to do the Kara cancel, or wait, no. She missed it because she did have it. She got the Gazelle step instead. Right. She's just missing the Kara cancel and paying a big price for that. And it has come to this once again. Shibo reaching the 6 points while Mai only has 2 in her name. It's gonna be a tough run back. The matchup unfamiliarity definitely making I feel the pressure here. Nice timing there. But now even though Mai was able to get that burst out of Shibo, a little too little life to play with. Axel is one of those characters who you probably are going to be taking a little bit of damage on the way in. Air dash over once again, Shibo. Ready to unleash the command grab once again. Instant air dash jump heavy goes into a BMB conversion. Big opportunity for Mai. There we go with the RC. We got the wall break, not quite, but this might actually be better for Mai. Do not wall break, soft knockdown Shibo back into the neutral. Burst has to be used here. Ooh, interesting. Was that? Wait a second. Was that Jump Slash who ended up trading? Uh-oh. Is this not quite gonna be enough? But putting Mai on a very dangerous amount of life, and there we go. The OTG out of a command crab.
Axel wins.
Really good adjustments towards the end, but perhaps the FT7 just a little too short of a format to absorb enough information and bring it home at this point. Shibo scoring the second win of their Bounty Hunters run here. It's been a while since we've seen Shibo, but looking like they're looking pretty good. Very textbook Axel plays. Able to zone it out this time. All right, moving on to the next one. So we're gonna have a couple of super heavy hitters next. The Finnish squad, Tomi and ZoKHiZ, coming through. Tomi's opponent gonna be Cassapphic. I think this should be the first time that Tomi is gonna be playing the Baiken matchup on Bounty Hunters. Let me check my cheat sheet for that. The recent games have been Jacko, Bridget, Elfelt, May for Tomi, but no Baiken at any point. There was that one match versus Red Raven Baiken, which Tomi did actually take successfully. So should not be a completely unfamiliar matchup. But on the other hand, when you're playing this from Baiken's point of view, Zato is much more of a rare character nowadays. I think it comes down to if Kaz was able to get a lot of Zato experience back in the day during Season 1 and Season 2, when Zato was considered pretty good, but recently we just haven't seen a lot of Zato players other than a couple of the die-hard fans who never want to give up the character, such as Tomi right here. Alright, into the pressure, we have the 50 meter. Recharge it with the use of Sun Void. This is gonna be a very common theme for especially the Season 3 Zato, when you can no longer waste time with like basic pressure sequences completely. Getting a command grab no longer refunds you the full eddy gauge. It only gives you half now, I think roughly 4 seconds instead of the full 8 seconds that you now have to wait to get your puppet back. So Sun Void is a very integral part of the game plan. Nice, gets the burst there, momentum to the corner, but Tomi able to break out of there. A couple more seconds to spend. But it is dangerous if you choose to approach on the main body when your body main body when your little guy is on cooldown. It's much easier to intercept. Here comes the shot, takes out the puppet, but does not land on Tomi. This is the conversion into the heavy kabari follow-up as well. Also the heavy kabari itself. Air-to-air jump B, another normal that Tomi loves using when applicable. Too early on the throw, that's a heartbreaker, because Kaz was basically having the right scent there. Tomi was respecting. That ends up being first point ruthlessly procured by Tomi after that throw whiff. We go to S counter hit. Is gonna go into the corner unless, ooh, I wonder if that was a miss input on the instant air dash. Got an instant backdash instead and sort of disengaging from the advantageous situation here. Kaz, nice that. Yeah, I think that's still a very good trade here. Spending 50 meter to take out Puppet just about at any point of the match. 6B from Tomi. The leapfrog missing completely, but now Tomi getting the reversal throw. Let's spend a little more time. Nice reactions there. And finds the hits with an overhead. 5D, my beloved. No one's gonna block that. Unless they're cracked out of their mind. Ooh, very nice on. After Kaz had already passed through Tomi, able to still get the 5 BP. Jab anti-air. Big frog, nice snipe on that, and in with the big jump slash counter hit. Tether attached, time to guess, into low from the front. Is that gonna be enough? Zato, very low guts character, is gonna take massive amount of damage here, but no, with a reduced amount of super damage at Season 3, that's not gonna be enough. Misses the timing on deflect shield. So not getting to push Cass away even an inch, unfortunately. But perhaps Tomi was trying to get a deflect shield on the second hit. Oh, interesting. Deflecting the S-Kabari, which does give you a rather neutral sort of big reward approach from both players, because it's not just Baiken who gets to utilize that S-Kabari tether. You can and definitely should utilize it on, you know, characters other than the Baiken who did get it attached. All right, but looks like we are probably getting the first DC of the week. Of course, gotta be careful not to press the retry button too fast. I think Tomi did notice though, so hopefully we're not gonna be missing any games here. Let's do this quick to call back the players back to the lobby. So very nice start for our Finnish Zato player tonight. As we mentioned, this is probably Cass being the underdog, as it is another very high-level player that they have to plow through. And Zato matchup is very interesting. A very different kind of matchup from any matches that you could ever play in Guilty Gear franchise. It's a very feast and famine kind of a deal for both characters. Not just for Zato, who has to basically be the weakest character of the game whenever your puppet is down. But also Zato, when you're able to mount that puppet pressure, it's technically unescapable for just about any character in the game, unless you choose to spend the universal resources, the bursts, or then the wire Cs. Even jumping out of those command grabs, often you just get pulled back onto the ground and into more pressure. It's one of the most offensive oriented characters that the Guilty Gear franchise has to offer. A little too low there on that floor. Wow, okay, bursting the burst here. I guess neutral trade for trade. Tomi able to refund the whole little eddy gauge here on summon into more pressure, but the angle wasn't quite right. Cassie gets to jump out. Poke Tomi out of that jump in attack. Oh, tether once again, trying to guess into a low. That's so tricky when you whiff a jump in button. You think you're gonna be taking a jump in and perhaps, you know, get bailed out by hit stop or block stun. But then the opponent goes into the empty low. Instead, here we go, same deal. What's the mix that pulls Tomi out of that corner? So tricky. Basically your big reward for scoring a throw as a fight. Oh, that's so nice. The super gun breaking through the oppose. And Cass finding a really quick game here on the game number 3. This is the kind of momentum swings that we might be seeing. Zato, very weak character when he's put on the defensive. So we could potentially be seeing Kaz pulling through with, you know, wins under 15 seconds, 20 seconds, that kind of jazz. Big whiff on the Yozan. Punished and using the burst to regain momentum here. But now Tomi gets a summon. Here we go. Here comes the joint attack with our buddies. Does have the 50 meter to use Sun Void to get back all of that gauge. However, using it to intercept Kaz out of the sky. Cassie not ready to block just yet. Straight into the instant air dash. Those instant air dashes are a very strong tool against Zato as well. Often, if you're not choosing to if you choose to summon with the wrong thing, so if you like commit to perhaps a pierce or, you know, don't shield yourself with an oppose, the trajectory for an opponent to jump in and they don't even need to land a hit, just making you block something will completely delete the little guy. Lacking a little bit of meter here to go for the Sun Void. The RC to buy some time. Blue Wild Assault, get the summon back, unsummon, break the wall, and ready to play the neutral again. But neutral is definitely not something that Cass is interested in. Uh-oh, but a good burst bait here. It's a very high-risk play there for Cass, trying to use the burst while she was still sitting on a round lead, and now will potentially have to pay the price unless, I guess, you know, back in the day we would say unless you just keep the opponent, you know, in your block string, but, you know, in the advent of Season 3, we can definitely use our burst offensively now as well, because we do have that Wild Assault. And Baiken does get opportunities to blue Wild Assault and then attach the S tether. This is fairly useful. Ooh, saw the burst coming there. The 2S RC, checking if anything fishy is happening. Didn't feel the impact of that hit, which means the opponent has already unleashed their burst. And at that point, it's just block it and punish. Basic stuff. Alright, finds the 2S. Good timing on the burst. It's the burst metagame at neutral has definitely you know, evolved since the vanilla version of the game, because now a lot of characters would kind of buffer their neutral pokes into Wild Assault. And if you let that Wild Assault go through, it will basically delete your burst for your opportunity to blue burst for a couple of seconds. So if you want to burst against those, you know, neutral pokes into Wild Assault conversions, you would have to burst extremely fast. Which is kind of what top players, well, players in general have been gravitating towards in this Season 3. It's the parry, but the parry full animation will only activate from point-blank range. Switch sides. Tomi with a very nice flight, able to change the trajectory to get a jump in and a hard knockdown. Now we do have summon available. Keeps the protect up. Gets an unsummon just in time, but then Cassie gets a snipe. Switch sides. Tomi has a summon ready to go still again. Choosing to sort of disengage from the situation. That does look like a misinput to me, but we'll have to see if that happens more. Airtight, high-low. It's either into 2D or Yozan. And don't even need the meter to convert this time. When Tomi's so close to dying. Clean Yozan, good use of the deflect shield. Cass immediately using her burst resources as well to keep up the momentum. This should lead into a wall break. Unless, oh, I spoke a little too soon. Reversal super, that should clean Eddie, but the main body is still alive. Misses the punish, goes in with the too heavy. A very low startup, or sorry, slow startup button. Got the frame trap with the drill RC conversion into wall break. Got the unsummon as well, and hard knockdown from the blue Wild Assault. Yeah, the tool of the trade, the overhead 5D once again scores the hit from very far away. Tomi is gonna maintain the pressure, gonna maintain the advantage as well. This time Cash choosing to open up with a very aggressive instant air dash Yozan, which cleaves all around you, and did manage to get an initial hit on Tomi as well. First, keep Tomi on his side of the screen. Ooh, nice spacing on the instant air dash, making Tomi's 6-speed just completely whiff. And now, potentially one hit away, attach the tether, mix up time. Yeah, Tomi hasn't been able to block a single one of those, which is very understandable. I think unless you have some sort of a, you know, unless you're working with some sort of an option select, and probably option select combined with a DP, there's probably a decent chance that you're not gonna guess right on Baiken's post-throw mix-up. Now the cash out. This will have to... Oh, actually, that was super smart initially, just not breaking the wall and putting Tomi in the corner. But forced to take the wall break with the second hit. Nice. Find a throw against the deflect shield. Deflect shield, an RPS option that Tomi is fairly active with as well. But on the other hand, you kind of have to be, if you don't have the full burst ready to go, and the opponent is gonna get a sort of safe jump mix-up on you, then you kind of have to spend, you kind of have the RPS with that 25. Because especially after a wall break when they are on a positive bonus loop, that loop would probably not end anytime soon, and it's basically like RPS to not give them a hit on block. Is the parry there somewhere in between. Slowing down Tomi's frame, still slowed there. Into, tried to go for an empty low or perhaps an empty throw, which Tomi was ready for. Gage is ready to summon up the little guy, and this would probably be a checkmate. Yeah, just gonna clap a couple of times, deliver massive amount of chip damage potentially. Kaz was on the same layer there, holding the FD block to negate most of that, but eventually you're gonna have to improve your position. Nice tomi snipe there, and nice snipe on the main body as well, but immediately ready to go into that deflect shield. Pushing Kaz back to the full screen now, into throw. Ooh, we're blocking those mix-up, hello? Yes, it's right, bar slash works as a makeshift anti-air. Tomi goes into the 6P a little too early here, jump arc over. Oh, but I think this will miss. OTG hit. Any punishes? Yeah, back throw, put them into the corner. Bait the burst just casually, but that burst did destroy the puppet, so Tomi will have to go in solo for a little while. Alright, backing out. Even if Kaz techs out of the wall with the forward momentum, Tomi in a perfect position to intercept. And speaking of intercepting, getting that air throw, nice! That was almost all just solo play here from Zato main body for the last like 20 seconds of that round. And it's not the first or the second time that Tomi able to pull off with a successful solo play. 6B preventing Kaz from getting the corner here. Right, Sato, sorry, Eddie, ready to be summoned. Summoning with the tether attached. Oh my goodness. How often do you get that sort of... I wonder if that makes the pressure better or worse. Alright, got the 2K 2D again, dropping the super. And let's see Tomi again taking the back throw as a punish. That makes a lot of sense for a character like Zato, who relies basically on set play for the most part. Need to waste time a little bit more. This will definitely waste enough. Break the wall. Yeah, I mean, they're just gonna straight up kill Kaz right here, huh? Alright, get the summon. Ooh, probably missed the unsummon command there. Because generally, Tomi, when you kind of misses a couple of initial summon normals, it's always quite ready to unsummon and get the meter back immediately. Really important, especially in Season 3, now that, you know, this will take 8 seconds to get back. Here we go with the solo combos. Baits the parry, another one. This time, Kaz goes for the PRC option select. But the oppose was there into a massive combo. That should be a kill, right? Yes, indeed. One of the most damaging combos in the game. When you swing into that oppose and give Zato a too heavy starter, you're in for a lot of hurt in those situations. The sort of RPS variant there is that if the oppose is summoned, you don't necessarily need to swing into it. You can dash through it and perhaps threaten Zato with throws or strikes after you manage to get past that big stop sign that oppose is. And now Kaz will have to, you know, improve the pace of this match somehow, because Tomi has been able to get that 6 points. Now the set win looming over the horizon. Ooh, it's actually gonna be chip damage. Big commit there from Kaz, because if that doesn't kill, that would have been a big punish opportunity for Tomi. Was probably hoping to have 50 meter there that you usually combine with that combat heavy follow-up. Alright, break the wall. A decent amount of gauge, so breaking it with the more damaging variant this time, and now into the summon. Good block on the overhead, and parries the follow-up hit. Alright, but Tomi not ready to give up the pressure just yet. Spence, or actually, didn't. No, that wasn't the burst. That was an RC that Tomi spent there. So now the first set point situation of this matchup, and Tomi going into it with full burst resources as well. Good snipe there, Kabari taking care of the summon. But the immediate punish there, or rather immediate burst there, punished by Tomi. It blocks, but we're still not out of the woods yet. Yo, that overhead was so delayed that it actually baited out the parry, and that should be a tomi. With perfect timings, perfect moves. I think Tomi, during this whole set, didn't get parried even once. And even at the end there, going in with the 6K, the overhead that is rather slow on startup, able to waste enough time so that the limited amount of active frames that Hiragi, the parry of Baikens, has is just gonna be bypassed completely. All right. And with that said, moving into the third matchup of the week, which should be fairly interesting. I mean, this is Asuka that we are talking about. It's been actually a while since I've casted a proper Asuka match. Especially since this is in the advanced player category. So we should be in for fairly decent high-level Asuka gameplay. Now, the twist here is that even though ZoKHiZ is not playing on Asuka himself, he does have a pocket Asuka available. So the matchup knowledge should theoretically be there. Although getting, you know, getting matches against Asukas is a completely different thing.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Alright, let's see how it goes. Ooh, interesting, summoning the heavy boom there. And the heavy boom having so much projectile, what's it called in this game? Durability? Is able to just delete the basic cubes with ease. Uh-oh, I think Blodboen has only support skills in their hand. This is nothing but utility. It is some good utility, however. But we're gonna have to, yeah, there's an attack spell. The ZoKHiZ was already so low in health that we, you know, can pretty happily take that risk and just go in with our normals. Right, ZoKHiZ scoring a hit, and now it is the danger zone. Parrying all the projectiles, but the 2D is a low hitting projectile, and it hits low, sorry, almost full screen as well. So that's probably gonna be Asuka's main RPS tool if ZoKHiZ ever chooses to go into the parry stance. Right, we have all the good utility activated, that's it. Blodboen finding, I think found basically the, what do they call it? The Exodia there. Had the mana recovery buff, had the, I think I was missing the auto refill if I saw correctly. But that is generally the holy grail of Asuka players that you want to go for. Get the test gauge 3 and then find the mana supporting passives as well as the auto refill, and ooh, okay, teleporting into a throw there. ZoKHiZ was not ready to react. Has the auto refill here, but saving it for now, perhaps wanting it to combine it with the mana spell as well. That's one thing. So because they reduced the sort of activation time or the active time of the test gauge 3 buffs, you kind of want to combine them together as closely as possible. I think especially the which one was it? Was it the mana now lasts for a very short duration, but the auto refill. Oh, waking up with the DP there, had it in their hand. 2 screamers and an overhead, drops the overhead immediately, and now forcing ZoKHiZ into a tricky situation. Those screamers do cover a lot of space right in front of you, so they could be used as or rather they are fairly often used as defensive spells of sorts, as well as neutral control tools. Only 1 card left in their hand and the half mana. We'll use this super to buy some time. Leo, I think Leo, oh, here we go with the super. That should break the mana shield and just take Blodboen's life as well. But as I was saying, that even though Asuka does not have reversal supers per se, the startup of the cube super is very fast, so you can use that as sort of like a stop button, as a panic button to assess the situation, check what the opponent is doing, and force them into a block stun, and then get whatever resources that you want. Maybe mana, more cards, or whatever your heart desires. The SDP finds its mark here. Blodboen has a lot of defensive spells. Choosing to unleash the cube super, gets the hit, and gets a full redraw of the hand. Still holding on to that DP spell. See if they choose to go for it. No, just drifting forward into the close distance. DP gets ZoK out. Now here we go, the DP spell. That was basically guess for the round. If Blodboen's DP spell was blocked there, that would have been a round instantly. Since it's been a while since I've casted Asuka, some of the cards have actually sort of escaped as far as their, you know, what spells actually correspond to. Ooh, tried to go for the F-Shiki there, but I'm not able to hit confirm. But I think ZoKHiZ actually blocked it, right? Go with the Wild Assault. Keeps the pressure alive. Despite not having any, you know, immediately aggressive cards in their hands. But that is the power of high-level Asuka players. Even when you draw a rock bottom in terms of your spells, you can use your other resources to basically compensate for it. So the Gold Burst works out for ZoKHiZ, putting them into positive bonus. And again, only 2 utility cards left, able to build. That was basically, I think that was a Hail Mary summoning, or rather drawing into a card and casting it immediately, hoping that it was gonna be an aggressive one. And a projectile card it was. That was the start to this sequence for Blodboen. Universal Super. Gonna reduce quite a bit from the opponent's mana gauge. ZoKHiZ is actually attempting to break the mana gauge here. Deflect shield straight into the cube super, gets the round. Man, a lot of resources spent for that burst RPS there, but that's kind of something that you do have to do on Asuka. You can't just, you know, stand there and block your opponent's pressure all of the times. If you have resources available, you want to use them to push your opponent away as soon as possible, because this is what happens if you don't. Every hit that you block, every hit that you take, doesn't matter. It will reduce from your mana gauge, and if you run out of mana, you are a sitting duck. And Blodboen knows it. No bursts out of this situation. We're just gonna take that L and hold on to our burst resources till a better round comes. Go throw ZoKHiZ into the corner, and the spacing is favoring Blodboen here. Has been able to activate the mana reduction spell. But it rounds out quite fast in Season 3. ZoKHiZ tries to return with the parry strike. Oh, ready with the reaction this time. Blodboen did check ZoKHiZ's reactions earlier with the teleport spell. Very dangerous situation, very low on mana. Able to get a couple of... Oh, that was a really quick reaction, using the teleport spell and picking up the combo after that. Into Cube is gonna do enough damage. Very nice. I really love Blodboen's sort of presence of mind is the word I'm looking for, probably. As soon as he has the kill, doesn't go for anything tricky, just unleashes that cube super and deals massive amount of burst super on ZoKHiZ on basically that initial, as soon as they manage to land the hit. Uh-oh, not very good. Cards in their hands. Just to go with a Hail Mary DP. This looks bad. This could actually be a kill for ZoKHiZ. Has the 50 meter. Into, yeah, that's through the mana shield. That's gonna deal. Oh, never mind. Spoke too soon. Just one hit point left here. But ZoKHiZ able to set a tricky cross-up mix-up from that hard knockdown situation. Starting with basic cubes here only for Blodboen. He gets them out of there, but now Blodboen very low on mana and gets the mana break. A massive surge of dopamine coming through. Waiting for the burst. The burst is nowhere to be found. Lots of RPS there. ZoKHiZ was hunting for that burst for quite a long time. So, really no comfortable place that Blood could have bursted out, bursted there. Alright, once again, heavy DP from Leo, having a lot of projectile durability. So trading favorably with Asuka's cubes. And remember, every one of those like it's very hard for Asuka to maintain being like mana positive. So if you can absorb any of his incoming cubes with something that doesn't cost resources, that's always a big thing for you. Oh, trying to recharge resources a little too close to ZoKHiZ here. Cashing out, getting the wall break, but this might actually favor Blodboen. Let's see. Gets the cube super off. Another one. But really bad. Oh, draws into nothing but utility spells once again. This is a terrible, terrible situation for Blodboen. Gets a knockdown with a 2D still with no cards in their hand. Earlier, they did immediately cast one of the spells as a Hail Mary, but it ended up being non-offensive spell. Something that, you know, you just have to take as an Asuka player sometimes. Sometimes the RNG just doesn't favor you. And in a tough situation where you're basically holding on to your dear life and maybe get time for just 1 or 2 summons, or rather draws, you just kind of have to wing it and see what the luck of the draw brings you. Alright. Doesn't quite get the whiff punish on ZoKHiZ's Hail Mary 2D from half screen. Alright, we have cubes. Getting at a low mana here. Go. Wicked confirm into a wall break. This will buy Blodboen time to draw a couple of cards. No, we're just going in with an aggressive safe jump into the shopping super. As an overhead in his hand. ZoKHiZ. Oh, what a reaction. Is that gonna go through? Yes, indeed, and it's gonna break Mana Shield as well. This is a tough situation. 50 meter and 50 bursts, but all of that means nothing in the face of Leo, or ZoKHiZ Leo. Evening it out, 3 points each. Yeah, I wonder, it probably was a premeditated risk there to, out of that hard knockdown, out of the wall break, to go in instead of, you know, recharge your resources. Screamer misses, being whiff punished by the S Sonic Boom from ZoKHiZ. Go with the jump D, a massive jump in. Ooh, that should get ZoKHiZ caught. Tried to dash in with, I think that was Rekka 1, or the... It's not Rekka 1. Artist formerly known as Rekka 1. I can't even remember what it's called in Strive. It's Rekka 1 in my heart forever and ever. And fuck whatever anybody else says. Uh-oh. Yeah, the hand is full of utility once again. One attack spell, which ZoKHiZ jumps over. Danger, danger. But the back throw, once again, the beloved saves Blodboen's bad day, bad draw luck. Let's block on the overhead spell. Slowly running low on mana. Overhead RC from the 6 heavy. You don't necessarily need the meteor cube to run some sort of mix-ups for Asuka. Oh, the right read, but went in with a little too early there. SDP RC. This could be exactly what ZoKHiZ needed, because again, Blodboen has no relevant cards in their hands. And no mana to spend either. This will break the mana shield. And ZoKHiZ hunting for the last hit. 50 burst. Almost 100 meter. Again, it will mean nothing. As Asuka is primarily a character that is, you know, about that spell casting. Tried to activate Screamer there, but the startup was thwarted by ZoKHiZ. Go DP in the air, but on air block being relatively safe, I think. ZoKHiZ is gonna get the mana break here once again. Overhead, good blocks, takes their turn. And he's gonna poke ZoKHiZ out of that bar slash. Very good choice of buttons for that spacing. Throw. Blind Blodboen once again, time to draw a little bit more. Rainbow Cube is still active, converts into the super. This should be a kill, yes indeed. Once again, what a finishing scenario or sequence from Blodboen. Didn't have any relevant spells once again, but realizing I got the hit, I can finish here with the use of the Chaos Cube. Spend 50 meter and regain the lead in this set once again. Right, mana cost down has been used. Using the multiple valleys, ZoKHiZ finds once again an STP. Back dash, building enough distance between the characters. Ooh, Wes goes in with an F-Shiki. 50 meter to convert it as well. Draws a full hand, lots of those being utility once again. But since one of those cards was mana recovery up, ZoKHiZ won't be able to get the mana shield break this time. Only a teleport in their hand, gets a little bit of a ghetto cross up. And ZoKHiZ trying to fish for the burst there at the end as well. Blodboen once again realizes that that would be a massive risk. A risk that they're not willing to take. Nice interaction there. Poking ZoKHiZ out of that Sonic Boom. More mana. Love to recharge some. 2D gives him the opportunity. Blodboen is really good at, like, on a moment's notice, recognizing what cards they drew, and that's gonna be a like a make or break type of ability for Asuka players. Recognizing the card that you drew immediately and making for, like, going for a flash decision. Am I gonna cast this or am I gonna save it? Trade favorably once again, or not even trade, gonna straight up kill the S projectile from ZoKHiZ. But again, getting a simple heart knockdown might not always be enough. You have to sort of make the call. If you're basically out of all relevant resources, you're gonna have to make an executive decision in terms of, am I gonna charge my resources? Which ones am I gonna charge? Or am I just gonna ignore the resource charging and try to go in with my normals and end the opponent in that way? And, or rather, eliminate the need to charge anything in that sort of way. Double jump over. ZoKHiZ holding on to the burst for a little while, went in with the bar slash, and that's gonna trade, or rather be whiff punished by the Chaos Cube once again. Nice timing on the strike, baiting the teleports, which Blodboen has been using fairly aggressively. I mean, you often enough you can't afford to just hamster a card in your hand. You kind of have to get rid of it. Cards like, you know, if you have too many utility cards in your hand, you would much rather cast the card rather than discard it. So I think from my limited, once again, you would much rather use it. So Blodboen using it to sort of take a calculated risk and play it as a pseudo mix-up. What's spacing here? Oh, hello? Wait, what happened there? Was that another teleport? So many things going on. ZoKHiZ jumping out of the beams or the laser spell. We do have good utility in our hands, but unfortunately we don't have mana or the position to use any of that. Blodboen does take the aggressive route, tries to get hit on ZoKHiZ. But Leo, being a very strong DP character, always a risk when you choose to approach Leo in, you know, without the coverage of any cubes or spells. The DP might be coming. I get the throw, reset the situation. And the hard knockdown, decent amount of mana, and a couple of basic attack spells. 6 heavy finds an overhead hit. ZoKHiZ is RPSing with the burst to the grave. That time, Blodboen was willing to say, all right, I don't care if you're bursting or not, you will use it, and I will just, you know, in best case scenario, I will get the win just right here. And if I get bursted, so be it. I still have a decent amount of resources to fight with afterwards. Ooh, nice! ZoKHiZ with that massive counter hit back turn S and exiting the stance immediately in order to block against the burst from Blood. Mana's shield has been broken. And ZoKHiZ is gonna cash out big time overhead. Super into at least half of Asuka's life potentially there. Starting with the basic cube zoning. But again, Asuka, it's like Asuka has the same kind of thing as Happy Chaos does. You can't keep zoning, you can't be resource positive. Oh, nice moves! Calls out the volleys and drift RCs backwards as they see ZoKHiZ pouncing forward with that 2D, I think it was. But again, only 2 utility cards in hand. So Blodboen hoping for a miracle. Pause button. Has the rainbow cube, ZoKHiZ poked into it, immediately eliminating it. But while that was transpiring, Blodboen was able to go into a couple of aggressive draws and lock down ZoKHiZ in the corner once again. We go on an aggressive trajectory, gets that mix up from a low into... Was that a low into a low? Potentially calling out ZoKHiZ's flash kick attempt there. Spells back. Ooh, but the volley! Hitting from slightly awkward angles, not keeping ZoKHiZ in place. Parrying the full duration of the Chaos Cube, the super that was meant to buy time for Blood. But now, mana broken, hard knockdown. The ZoKHiZ set up the Rekka too, the cross-up Rekka. The Berserker Slash slightly incorrectly, I think. Find the hit, break the mana shield, deflect shield into straight Chaos Cube. Get the round. Yeah, that's... I think that was like the most obvious sequence to victory. Just deflect shield, ZoKHiZ a little bit further, make sure that there is no button that Leo can press, and then send out the Chaos Cube. Worst case scenario, it's gonna be blocked and you're gonna be able to recharge your, you know, resources and assess the situation. At best case scenario, you're just gonna get the win there if ZoKHiZ chooses to press any aggressive buttons. Now DP. Pushing Blodboen initially towards the corner. The projectile durability of the heavy fireball eventually gives out in the face of the gate. Throw. We're gonna be cashing out. Could this actually be a kill? Can Blodboen get the wall here? No, not quite. But still putting ZoKHiZ in a checkmate position. And speaking of checkmates here, this has been a very fastly advancing matchup here. But now this will be the first match point opportunity for, or rather set point opportunity for Blodboen. ZoKHiZ with the dash jump. Very important one. One of the things that Blodboen could do here, once again, deflect shield straight into the cube is the name of the game. ZoKHiZ running slowly, very low on health. ZoKHiZ will have to find a burst here. Gets it just in the nick of time, but the 6P under ZoKHiZ's far slash is what's gonna take the set for Blodboen. Wow, convincing Asuka play here for our, for our first timer on Bounty Hunters. That was a lot of really good interactions back and forth. ZoKHiZ having a Pocket Leo himself showing up. A lot of understanding of what is to come, but at the same time, even if you know what is coming, if the Asuka player plays it perfectly, sets it up perfectly, and able to play consistent enough, I mean, you are always, no matter how good you are on Asuka, you're gonna run into some difficult scenarios here and there. But, if you're good enough, you should be able to minimize the tough situations enough to be able to win your competitive set. No matter if it's an FT7, if it's a double elimination bracket. Yeah. Good stuff from Blodboen. Hopefully we get to see more of that in the future. Alright, arriving to the midpoint of the set, and I'm already hyperventilating and kind of dizzy here. Oof. So Drowsy Kat versus Ehmu next. Give me actually a moment to give Drowsy a ping. Oh wait, is it actually Drowsy in the room currently? Let me check. It is Drowsy in the room, so that means we're gonna need Ehmu instead. Whew, gotta need to take a deep breath here. But I kind of knew that was gonna happen because we had a very front-loaded card in terms of, matchups that I was excited for, but also, I mean, I guess there's a little bit of bias when your Finnish homies are coming through with really exciting matches. So after that small Finnish block, Tomi ZoKHiZ. Moving on to UK versus Slovakia instead. Alright, Ehmu is on their way. And Kat sitting down. Rather Drowsy, should we say. I think is what what Drowsy Kat would rather go by. So even though Kai, a very standard character, we do have a distinct lack of super strong active regulars on Bounty Hunters as far as Kai is concerned. So it's always a welcome sight to get some high-level Kai play when possible. Now this will not be the highest level of play available. This will be like pre-intermediate/intermediate bracket match.
Mankind knew that they cannot change society.
So as it will be Drowsy's first time on Bounty Hunters, it's gonna be a little bit of a calibration match of sorts. We in the Bounty Hunters matchmaking team don't quite have the full extent of our newcomers' abilities a lot of the time. It's gonna be interesting to see how Drowsy fares, but also what kind of playstyle we're gonna have from our new player. And it ends up being the gunshots that find the first shot right from the get-go. Now Ehmu is himself slightly newer Happy Chaos player, so you're probably not gonna see like the most technical of sequences, and probably some gun management mishaps here and there. But hey, that's it's kind of how it goes. And Happy Chaos is a character that has a massive skill ceiling, or I guess the skill ceiling as well as the skill floor is rather high for this character. Very nice 6B in reaction to the food rearc here. Important to not get Kai players, or not let Kai players to have plus frames for free, especially when that electricity is applied on you. Double important to, you know, poke them out of their food rearcs. And here we go, Drowsy tries to go for the throw. Ehmu on the right Yomi layer, dodging with a throw. And now back into the fishing. Jump heavy from a perfect angle. Oh, misses the shot here for Ehmu, even with that steady arm stance. Or steady aim? I think it's the name. Unless you have a curse applied, there's always a little bit of RNG where not only where the reticle spawns, but if the reticle is actually able to keep up with your opponent or not. And Drowsy is going to be able to get the first game here.
Mankind knew that they cannot.
Of course, the strategy against Happy Chaos is always going to be try to get close and personal and just make them melt. Out of concentration very early to the round here. Get the makeshift backdash. Ooh, able to get the concentration out just in time. Pulls out the gun and the reticle lands on Drowsy due to the curse. There we go, the pistol whip misses. There we go, not breaking the wall just yet. Super important to not break the wall against Happy Chaos before you have at least 50 meter or 50 tension for the hard knockdown. However, it ends up being Ehmu who breaks the wall this time. Electricity is on. 6S with punish there. That looked very interesting at the very tip pixels of far slash from Drowsy. That move doesn't have any low profiling frames, does it? Missing with a shot and not able to get the shot out in time before Drowsy gets there. Big counter hit. No cash out. The wall gave in a little too early, perhaps much earlier than Drowsy had expected. See, switch the sides back and force Ehmu into again another shot miss. It's the downside. If you go for the shot a little too early, it's gonna be an RNG shot. I forgot what the probability for normal shots was. If you don't have the curse, I think it was something like... Was it a 75% chance to miss or a 75% chance to hit? There we go, from the far slash, the conversion that should be able to take the game. Yes, indeed, Drowsy. Against Happy Chaos, you gotta be really on point with not only your round start RPS, but your post soft knockdown RPS. Because one of the best places to actually RPS with Happy Chaos is starting from the round start. If you let Happy Chaos build distance between you, and God forbid if you have distance between you and Happy Chaos and the curse is applied, Happy Chaos does have some pretty good prospects for quick zoning bursts and keep away bursts. Although in Season 3, Happy Chaos players have been kind of forced to play a little bit more aggressive because you can no longer zone too much. You often would have to, you know, out of your initial shots transition into some sort of mix-up, get through your opponent's guard, and then get an opportunity to charge more, what's it called? Your pop the ADHD meds, charge your concentration, because the concentration ends up being like the biggest problem for the most part. Right, just an empty jump here. Electricity is applied. Tried to go for a curse cube there. Goes first towards the corner. Drowsy has so many different opportunities to defend here or attack with. Still 50 meter, misses the close slash. Unfortunately, that would have probably been the bane of Ehmu right then and there. Drift backwards, try to desperately build some sort of amount of distance between Kai and Happy Chaos. That's the problem we've been seeing for Ehmu. A lot of bounty hunters, it's like, I think Ehmu does have the sort of full sequence of the combo in their muscle memory, and they try to get the wall bounce into a normal concentration recharge. But if they don't get the wall stick, then they end up going for that very risky concentration recharge in front of their opponent. Curse whip. The good RPS there realizes that Ehmu was so low on concentration, and Ehmu sort of trying to get an aggressive amount of external resource recharge in there. Not just the bullets, but also a normal concentration. I think the same way, this is like a recurring theme for a lot of characters this season. Like for Zato, for example, or I guess Asuka in certain senses as well. But you will have to spend a lot of meter, a lot of your attention for resource management in the form of exactly this. The concentration super is probably one of your most important resource sinks now, as you will be always battling to have enough concentration or to not have enough concentration. And usually out of knockdowns you can safely like recharge just one resource or one type of resource, or out of plus frame situations you generally have to choose like what kind of resource you want to take. And it's also the concentration recharging takes a little more time, takes a couple more frames than just putting a shot in your gun. So you can kind of circumvent that by spending those important 50 tension bars into super recharge. But now Drowsy able to get a 4th point in a row here on their debut match on Bounty Hunters. It's kind of understandable, for this was that one matchup that we crafted on a short notice. And Ehmu going into this matchup was considered to be the underdog of sorts. I think the sort of the mix-up here was, or the coin flip here was, that if Ehmu goes in with their chip, I expected it to be very Ehmu favorite, and going in with, oh nice! The 2B anti-air against Foodrark. Generally against Foodrark you want to have one of your faster anti-air buttons ready to go, so that would rule out 6Bs for most characters who have more than 9 frames of startup on their 6Bs. So buttons like 5B and 2B are very useful at preventing Foodrark from going active. Tries to swipe that 2S, the double jump lands straight into Drowsy's poke. But really nice burst timing here for Ehmu. Not only getting a combo breaker, but drawing that initial red Wild Assault bar out of Drowsy. Spending their 2nd one though, and getting the wall break here. It's starting to look fairly dangerous for Ehmu, and that should be it. Yeah, just special RC, swipe, Drowsy drawing ever so closer with their first win on Bounty Hunters. I wonder what the adjustment here for Ehmu could be. And I think playing a very technical character like Happy Chaos, it's very hard to, especially when the adjustments usually are gonna be like just play more technically sound, just make better calls in terms of resource management and stuff like that. Those are really hard calls, right? And in fact, those kind of things just more or less depend on your experience and your muscle memory, instead of just, you know, understanding what your opponent is doing and adjusting to what they are doing. Once again, nice anti-air out of the Foodrark. And we're gonna this time convert into a little bit of a combo as well. Only one shot in the chamber. Doesn't even need it though. Ehmu getting some rare but well required successes here on the first round of game number 6. The instant or the dash jump shimmy, forcing Ehmu to sacrifice their burst resources on the blue one. Ooh, recognizes that the heavy fireball was not quite there in time. Coast to coast. Oh, that's special actually. Gets a kill. Go straight stun edge. And electricity applied. Ehmu has to reach for the blue burst very early, not to get wall broken. I think especially like the further we've gotten in the lifespan of Gilgamesh Tribe, the more important it is to also, you know, use your resources to not give your opponent the wall breaks. As soon as you realize that, you know, your opponent is working with a combo that could have a wall break, that's a cause for you to consider blue bursting. But before that, you might consider just saving it for Wild Assault, because let's face it, a lot of characters just enjoy using their Wild Assaults. But now, speaking of enjoying certain things, here we go. Oh, that actually links into Red Wild Assault, huh? Drowsy has been showing some really cool combo routes here, and Kai, since the advent of Wild Assault, has been eating pretty well, I want to say. Kai, in fact, was one of the premium characters that could make the best use of that Red Wild Assault, especially being a character that has lots of far range pokes, but also having routes that allow you to sort of go into the full Wild Assault charges, into massive corner carry routes, into massive damage. So I think in Season 3, suddenly we are looking at a character, or like we are looking at a Kai Kisk that is surprisingly high damage. It's not like Kai wasn't pretty high damage before, but now even more so. And now the damage has been, you know, accessible even from half screen away by just having that Red Wild Assault on ready, or at the ready. But now, as we were talking about that, Drowsy already on a set point here, looking to just swipe Ehmu out of this set. Very nice instant air dash reach, the read though. If we get through that fireball. Sacred Edge. Holds down the fort. Ehmu struggling to get out of this corner position. Would love to take the burst into the next set, but can they afford to combo into the pistol whip? Don't drop it. Oh, okay. We're dropping it at a fairly safe spot. We're on the gun with the use of Deus Ex Machina. Is that gonna be wall? It's gonna be a wall break, but not the kill. Deflect shield. Oh, the Kurt Cube can't be punished there. Red Wild Assault for the pressure. Has to spend it here. Unfortunate. In the end, gets the round, but Ehmu would have liked to take that burst so badly into this last round of this game. And now this is Ehmu's do or die, live or die. Do we live to fight another round, another day? Or do we go down 7-0 against one of the newcomers in this week's Bounty Hunters? Swinging a miss with that 6S. 2D gets the heart knockdown again with the dash jump. Shimmy. Big rewards coming in. Wall gives up a little too early for Drowsy's taste. Double direct plate. Pop the ADHD meds, but Drowsy has the air-to-air interception. Misses this time. 6B has to burst, gets the burst back susting time. However, it's not gonna be enough. Drowsy has made sure work of Ehmu here. Perhaps, perhaps we have greatly, what's the word I'm looking for? Greatly underappreciated the explosive potential of Drowsy, and perhaps the chip matchup would have actually been the better one to play here for Ehmu. But, you know, calibration matches, as they say. All right, next one, we got some more Finnish boys ready to play. It's gonna be Setsu versus KS. So Setsu making through with their Guilty Gear Strive career, first starting as a Baiken player, transitioning into being a Ramital player, and now the newest addition to their kit is gonna be the Leo. Also, howdy raiders from Cuenca's stream. We're just about to get our, I think, fifth. This is the fifth matchup of the evening. It's gonna be a Finnish mirror match. Setsu, a player, like we said earlier, a player that kinda doesn't quite reach like the top echelon skill level of players quite yet. The likes of, you know, Raigand or Shady or perhaps Solid in Finland, but just below that perhaps. Now, I did have a very brief meeting with Setsu in the tower on his Leo.
Instead of reflecting on themselves, they blamed the beasts.
And out of that, even though didn't get to see too much, but it would seem that Setsu is already working with some really good stuff on Leo Whitefang. On the other side of things, though, KS, basically a character loyalist for a very long time, has been playing this character ever since GGST was released in Season 1. Now with the momentum burst, trying to contain Setsu in the corner. Not successfully though. And here begins the mauling. Got the cross-ups. Burning into a combo. It's gonna be a wall break, and I think in general, does the neutral actually favor Leo in this matchup? I mean, in terms of, you know, both of these characters have a lot of long-reaching pokes, but I think you gotta generally give the startup advantage to Leo in, you know, mid to far-range exchanges. Of course, if we're talking about like absolute maximum range, then GGST has the ability to take out the security drone and skip the neutral like so. So I think Setsu can't afford to give away too much spacing. I wonder if that was a misinput on TK Behemoth there that KS had to sort of bail out of by using PRC. Here comes Setsu. RC, keep the pressure going. Nice patience from KS with the neutral jump D, preventing Setsu from dashing in. Sees the burst coming, and this could almost be a kill. If only KS had a little more meter. We'll have to go into the last mix up the jump heavy. Cross up, ends up missing. That was not a meaty. Checkmate. Yeah, that was probably gonna be just a little bit too much chip damage to, you know, FD successfully as well. 2K 2D with a new and improved fast 2K. 7 frames of startup, finally, with a good mid-range slash, you know, short-range button for GGST. Nice attempt at a whip punish on those Behemoth Typhoons, but Setsu just barely not getting close enough to pull out the clean one. Yeah, the cross-up Rekka. Able to go through behind the little crevice behind KS's back. Cash out with the use of Wild Assault. Break the wall. You would have to give, yeah, immediately goes into the White Wild Assault. Setsu breaks through the, oh, wait, that deflection didn't push Setsu far enough. the /5 heavy sequence still able to be in the right reach. Man, that feels tough. All right, first one in favor of Setsu. Going with the jump-ins and the white wild assault, holding the approach of KS immediately with the flash kick. And even though Leo doesn't necessarily have the best of the reversal DPs in the game anymore, that title would go to Sin nowadays. It is still a very strong reversal. Not only is it a flash kick, so you kind of don't have to give a damn about left-rights a lot of the times, it still gives you opportunity to land some far-range normals, if I recall correctly, after a knockdown. Alright, this time waits out the reversal DP. Setsu unleashing the burst immediately. Now getting a hit here for KS would be big. There we go. We have the hard knockdown. We have the pressure. What's it gonna be, Setsu? Is it gonna be the DP once again? But the pressure is structured in a manner of speaking that doesn't let Setsu do any sort of shenanigans out of the pressure, and KS depleting the universal resources, the defensive resources of Setsu's, and able to convert that round into the first game victory for KS. Ooh, nice whiff punish, but I mean, even if you go into 2D from that, that might have been a little too far from our GGST player to convert to. Wall break, hard knockdown, massive life advantage for Setsu here. Oh, flash kicks into the wrong direction here. Luckily for Setsu though, KS didn't quite have 50-meter build here, so not able to have the best, offensive sequences available. Using the wild assault, the burst resources instead to keep the pressure going. However, Setsu willing to put that full burst meter in to get out of the sticky situation and get the round here as well. Skip to the other side, into the overhead, checking with the lows, and KS ready to up it with a 2K. Vacuuming Setsu towards the corner. Both players have quite a lot of resources here to defend with KS. Reaches for the throw just a little too early. And Setsu bouncing out of the corner. Are they able to parry here? No, the 5K, or rather the standing K, the BTK still active. Or rather in recovery state. Setsu still will be able to get the wall break and will be able to get the kill as well. Gotta be really careful as a GGST here. If you churn a lot of, a lot of 360s into that reversal super, the slower your super startup is, the more that Leo is gonna have time to recover out of potentially from their back turn strikes. And if they are at neutral, or if they manage to recover in time, then back turn D is basically a frame 1 reversal that can parry supers as well. What do we even call, like, I'm trying to still think, what do we call that Rekka, that artist formerly known as Rekka 1? It's like a lunch? Like lunch punch? I wonder if other commentators have, solved this critical issue. Nice! Recognizing the situation, Setsu sees the wild assault coming forward and counters it with a throw. It's probably like one of the few counterplay options that you can have on white wild assault. Yeah, that's the other move. So we usually call the cross-up Rekka, the Rekka 2, or the cross-up lunge, the Berserker slash. Oh, in a clean conversion. Speaking of characters that are extremely good with the Red Wild Assault, we had Kai on Showcase earlier. The Leo White Fang, another really great character. Ooh, I think that was a punish on the landing recovery as well. Wild Assault, converting it into security drone. Setsu able to poke the drone out before it is able to achieve anything. Setsu able to pick up a little bit of steam here. Setsu a very aggressive player as well, as you might have figured out from the playstyle. Generally doesn't want to be on the receiving end of any kind of pressure or shenanigans, so willing to spend burst very fast upon first touch. Or DP very aggressively. You know, the usual stuff. But he's also very good at sort of flipping from that defensive position to the offensive one and then hanging on to the aggressive position as a you know, in the follow-up situation as well. Haymaker, lots of plus frames, able to block the reversal DP from Setsu once again. RC, is that gonna be enough? That could be a wall break potentially, not quite. Checking if Setsu wants to DP out once again. This time the answer is no. Looking for the whiff punish. I think the whiff punish game has been the one thing that Setsu has been kind of struggling with. Lots of opportunities and lots of attempts to whiff punish behemoth typhoons. You know, just a couple of pixels or a couple of frames too late, oftentimes. There we go, Behemoth Typhoon and a safe spacing beats out the reversal DP. Ooh, here we go. I think Setsu is neutral, so we'll be able to parry here. Yes, indeed. Give me that sweet, sweet 50 meter, and you're back your ass into the corner as a result. Yes, was able to get the neutral jump off, so that means jump D. Ooh, that was so smart. I've actually never seen that before. Sort of intercepting GGST in the air with a fast button and then staircasing down onto the ground as the security drone is passing under you. Damn, I'm gonna definitely steal that and use that in the future if possible. Alright, Red Wild Assault. Mainly used as a pressure extender as well as a corner carry tool. Especially the Red Wild Assault users can find so much good value out of, you know, just unleashing Red Wild Assault on defense, because it does corner carry, sort of corner push the opponent quite a bit. There we go, this time not allowing Setsu to go airborne. However, Setsu with the back turn incident has the super as well. GGST is a fat one, but is it gonna be enough? Yes, indeed. The defensive modifier is gonna carry KS to the next screen. But not able to RPS the follow-up situation successfully. Nice. Delay. Finds the hit. Half of KS's life gone already. But this is a soft knockdown, so... Ooh, very nice timing there. I think I saw the startup of White Wild Assault there. So KS not able to get that active. The magic number is 9 frames. Goes for it again. This time, the 9 frames. Grants the startup input frames. From the other side. And again, to the other side. Is he gonna be able to recover this time? No, sir. Through the wall you're gonna go. No, never mind. Just in the corner. Maybe even better for KS like this. Yeah, I mean, eventually you're gonna have to find some sort of a way out, and for DP characters... Oh, baby! But that was a rather small... that was a rather small counter hit there. KS was basically able to crank up the risk bar of Setsu's completely there with that clever sequence. Landing airborne or landing a couple of behemoth typhoons on the airborne opponent. And unless they are willing to hold on to FD or hold FD in the air, they're gonna be taking like massive amounts of risk belt. Alright, Setsu on the warpath once again. From that soft knockdown. Spending a wild assault charge. Getting a decent amount of damage for their investment as well. Again, Setsu just a little too short getting that full whiff punish. But I mean, despite whipping the whiff punishes, Setsu has been doing pretty good at just, you know, perhaps taking, like, just landing buttons on block instead and just running with the pressure sequence. Here we go. Out of that throw whiff. Converting the back turn slashes into blast frames and into throws. Break the wall. How much life left? Just I guess a BMB's worth of life. Ooh, this could be a good one. Heart baiting the burst, but Setsu. Yeah, Setsu is too smart for that to fall for that one. Because Setsu was sitting on a round lead, so there was basically no impetus for him to go into the burst right away. Just willingly, or like there's still a couple of extra moments that we can play RPS. Sort of give the opponent an opportunity to hard drop their combo in seek for that burst too greedily. Ooh, but speaking of debating bursts, KS on point this time. Setsu is, of course, the one of them that is more prone to, you know, unleashing that burst as soon as possible in order to not take a lot of damage, but also to seize back the momentum as far as possible. Into the safe jump, just 2k, stagger pressure. Pulling down Setsu from the skies with that security. And yeah. Basically in a situation where they are threatened to getting killed by the chip damage of the Behemoth Typhoon, so forcing the opponent to act and getting hit as a result. Nice, 2k 2D mash gets, oh, hello, a little too early with that Behemoth Typhoon here. Flip the positions. Setsu does have quite a lot of resources to defend with, and we are going to one of the most classic ones, DPRC. That has garnered a lot of conversation in the Twitter side of things as of recent as well. I mean, it is a strong tool. Ooh, KS with a nice air throw interception. Intercepts the grounded DP as well, forcing Setsu to burst out. 100 meter. The bursts. Stick of butter goes into wire C. The second one goes to extending your pressure. But Setsu not being able to get through the guard of KS. Until that throw finds the low. All right. I mean, eventually, it always seems like Setsu is able to find some sort of a way. Perhaps not immediately, but as long as they can keep the pressure alive. But now, speaking of keeping the pressure alive, this is GGST. Good STP out of that Haymaker Behemoth Typhoon. That would have been a lot of plus frames if Setsu chose to block that. Once again, we are neutral. We get that back turn D unleashed, and now super available as well. Misses the input, perhaps. So KS's last chance to try to rob this round back. But Setsu is willing to spend all of the resources to keep this pressure alive. The meter has been used. The combo has been unleashed with another really cool jump D conversion. Setsu moving on to 6 points. The 6-2 situation has basically been what almost all of the sets tonight have been about. One player having a decisive advantage, and then the other trying desperately to sort of bounce back from that tragic, awkward situation. What if you join the card? I think we have pretty much a full card tonight, and unless one of our pairs drops out, I'm not sure if I'm gonna have the stamina to cast an 8th game tonight. But we'll keep an eye on that. Never say never. Maybe we have a last-minute cancel from one of our players. I'll keep that in the back of my mind, and I'll get back to you if necessary. Alright, once again, jump slash preventing Setsu from jumping over the security drone. Ooh, tried to go for a neutral jump D to guard got the ground in front of them. Nice, finds the DP. And it should be a kill. No, baiting the burst. There we go, there's the burst. So much RPS in terms of the burst meta between these characters, or rather between these players. Oh no, is Setsu actually gonna rob this again? Into the other side and the overhead. The highway robbery on plain sight. I mean, the good news is that KS was able to get that burst out of Setsu's, so that's not gonna come into play very soon. The bad news is we're about to go down, for this is Setsu set point. And unless KS can find some sort of maneuver, has to burst, momentum burst into the corner. Oh, but Setsu has basically conditioned KS to think about that DP. Here comes the reversal super, lots of damage. But the damage is not enough. We will have to go through the guard of Setsu's DPRC, putting KS in a checkmate. Finds it with a 5k, or rather back turn K. And just like that, Setsu. A very convincing win here. Basically on the first time on a new character on Bounty Hunters. Of course, Setsu is one of our top end players, but showing that they are not just the capable Baiken and not just the capable Ramlethal player, but have also a very explosive Leo locked and ready to go. All right, 2 more to go. Rather explosive match as well. Two pre-advanced kind of upper portion of intermediate bracket slash the earlier end of advanced bracket games coming up. In our first one, we got the Wild Woman, Maria Nagoriyuki, representing Norway. And she's gonna go against our last debut players of the evening. It's gonna be Leo, representing the UK. Now give me just a moment to give the players a shout out that is gaming time. Alright, we got Maria. Yeah, it's been quite the Leo dominant card So this will be the third and last Leo entering the flay, entering to flay. Gonna flay the opponent right now, right here. Entering the play. So Leo versus Nago matchup. I have a hunch that this, if I recall correctly, is this Nago favorite or? I'm gonna take this opportunity to get water in the wrong pipe, just as we're ready to start. Professionalism at its peak. Oh shit. Let me mute for a second. I'll be right back, guys. Alright, hopefully fully recovered and ready to cast this next spectacle. Again, the eternal question. When you see a high-level player for the first time, you wonder to yourself, how does this player choose to tackle the game that is Guilty Gear Strive? Lots of different ways to go about it.
Change society. So instead
and going against the Nagoriyuki tonight, Yo will have to abide by a couple of certain rules that this character Nagoriyuki imposes on you, which is exactly this. When blood is available for Nagoriyuki, it's gonna be super hard to contest him at neutral. Trying to go with the DP, Maria says, nope, I can just stand here. Not only the special moves, but also the massive amount of range that you get for your 2S and 5 heavy kind of allow you to stand on space yourself at a fairly safe distance and just use your disjoints if you know, as best as you can. However, now through the wall Maria goes, and if Yo manages to get a hit here, this would be a massive amount of damage as the more blood you have on you as Nagoriyuki, the more damage you are also going to take. Right, fully spaced, nicely spaced S flash kick, or sorry, not flash kick, the Sonic Boom seems to be one option that Leo can use against that Beyblade at least. You know, the other high blood burning option would be the clone Hukyo, which will, for the most part, delete all fireballs as it goes. But we're talking about 2 special moves combined, and that would be at least half of Nagoriyuki's blood reserves, or almost half. Maria once again. Oh, are we gonna go for checkmate? Not quite yet, and the DP, the very delayed DP. Those DP timings have been very difficult to read. It's like Maria is hanging out at a spacing where she's kind of waiting for Yo to press a button, perhaps. And when no button manifests... Oh, nice parries though. Inching ever so closer with a couple of those good old back turn Ds, and now, what's the mix-up? Jump D. Ooh, sees the bar slash going through, and is able to pick basically the best button for the job. Get the wall break just as Maria was getting the burst back. Now Maria will have to be on the back foot for the rest of the round. Good reactions on the throw. Clears the execution check. Clears. I was about to say. They have to clear so much more before she actually gets to play. For Yo did have 50 meter locked and loaded, so DPRC was basically imminent. unless Maria was willing to sort of venture into the point-blank range. Got so patient play here from Maria tonight. White Wild Assault, resetting pressure and able to give Maria a little bit of extra extra bit of life back. Not life, sorry, blood. The more important resource. Maria with full burst, full tension as well, but very high blood, so gonna be taking extra high damage. 5D tap into RC, forcing Maria to spend that burst in attempt to play more. Ooh, with the forward momentum, raw Red Wild Assault, interesting. We don't really see that tool used quite like that very often, but it can definitely be used like that. There are just so many different use cases for, especially Red Wild Assault. It's a very, very versatile tool, and Yoi gonna putting into really good showcase for how to use that as well. This time, Maria standing up to block that overhead tap blitz. And reaching in for the back throw now. Even though Maria is in a good position, this will be a hard comeback. She has only literally 1 hit point left to spend. So even on block, be really careful. Anything on block would chip her out here. But, you know, to get the W, you do have to take some sort of a risk at one point or another. And that time, the timing did not favor Maria, unfortunately. Wild Assault charge, pushing the opponent into the corner. Oh, wait, that turbulence would have kind of looked like it was punishable, but not. Maybe not. Maybe Maria was not in the range to get any of Nago's buttons in that time, or perhaps just was not ready to react. That's fairly a reasonable assumption for a fast-paced game like Guilty Gear. Sometimes you just, you know, are not on the same reaction Yomi layer as your opponent. Here we go, but Maria in the right layer this time around, just waiting out the SDP and getting a big punish. Good patience on Yo as well to hold on to that burst for subsequent rounds. The second jump. Good reaction on the forward. Fukyo throws Maria out of it and throws Maria through to the next stage as well. 50 meter ready to be defended with back drift RC, but not able to get any sort of distance between the players. Maria with that 2S from round start was able to get the corner position, but not the kill. DP, ooh, very nice read there. Both players getting a couple of good defensive throws. And Maria once again, the timing of that 5 heavy as well as the spacing. Now this is kind of tricky for Leo to defend, for Leo to deal with. It's getting a heavy fireball out would be one of the. It just lets it rip through the wall we go. And what's the mix-up? Maria has full burst. Just a good old meaty. Are we gonna unleash it? 5B, check. Maria, not ready to burst just yet. Nice read. Blood-sucking universe and actually gets the round there. Very nice. We've had this same RPS with the burst so many times over this week, this Sunday. And your gut instinct tells you that the opponent, they have to burst right. They would die otherwise. So what kind of a madman or a madwoman in this case would just hold on to their burst? But hey, that's the crux of the RPS. Sometimes you do hold on to that resource and just, you know, make your opponent hard bait the burst, hard drop the burst, hard drop the combo, and then just press buttons as a result if you end up plus. go. Lots of corner carry. I think has an opportunity to back turn D here. No, perhaps Yo was actually still in the process of dashing forward. But YRC, very important tool to force your opponent's to break your opponent's high value momentum situation, such as after a wall break. At the disjoints favoring Maria. It's gonna be a kill, not quite, but so close to a checkmate. Goes for a very fast, with first hit DP, go into overhead for the second hit of the DP. Able to put Maria in an even situation here, 2-2. Once again, the Blood options are very powerful. Spending a... Oh, power! That's one way to take care of the opponent's reversal supers. Just power through with the use of the heavyweight Wild Assault. Forma El Blanco goes through so many different things. Nice! Due to the blue RC frames, I think the parry was extended from Yo. Able to give Maria actual Beyblade punish there. Speaking of Beyblades, dancing forward, blood-sucking universe. Takes care of any blood worries that Maria potentially had after using so many specials. But now, Beyblade is minus on block nowadays. Even trade, but here comes the launch special move. RC, Yoi pushing Maria in the corner. I think I saw a parry frame. Yes, indeed. And that was pre-flash as well. So Yo just had a guess that time around. I'm not sure what frame Maria saw there, but the oh no. Oh, hello? There's a lot of stuff happening there. I think Yo might have thought that Maria actually had a burst ready to go. Or it was a little messy there at the end. Either that, and they were trying to go for a strike RC to bait the burst, which, I mean, wasn't there. But might have also been trying to go for some sort of a makeshift RC extension there to let the Blood Rage burn kick in. Either way, no time to reflect on your past mistakes. It's gaming time, says Maria. Cho through the wall, gets that round. Ooh, that was kind of cute. As a response to the Red Wild Assault, using a gold burst. So Maria will have a slew of resources flowing in for just a second. Respect on the deflect shield, giving Maria the burst bait, or sorry, the reversal bait. Blood-sucking universe bites through the DP Maria. It was basically a 2-0 start for Yo, but Maria, over and over, she has proved in the past that she is capable of adjusting to difficult situation and making the momentum swing. Again, assuming this neutral controlling position here. You're able to flip the positions though. Super jump into the parry stance strike. Oh, nice shimmy there. Faking the throw, taking a step back. Just outside of Nagoriyuki's throw range as well. It has to be said that to shimmy Nagoriyuki, you have to be double the extremely clean with your shimmy, because if you venture forwards too close, Nago still has that grappler throw range, the same throw range that Potemkin has for these throws. So slightly more than your average characters. Right, Beyblade is the name of the start. 6 heavy, inducing a front start-like situation. Oh. So RC. Even after whipping that second blood-sucking universe, Maria was able to reap the benefits of the first one. So we'll be able to start this situation with a full, fresh blood bar. And biding her time. Oh, sees that the Hukyo is coming through. Finds the lows. But the hit confirm is not nowhere to be found. Burst. DPRC is... Oh, immediately YRC's going out of that. And checkmate them with a... Yeah, I think Maria would have basically committed to that sequence and just played a sequence of DP, Beyblade, DP, Beyblade, which is one of the more beloved sequences to chip the opponent out, but also hunt for the last hit with potentially every single hit being a mix-up between a high and a low. As the Beyblade is always the ever-looming throw, the low option. But also now that DP second hit is also an overhead, you get a little bit of an extra spicy add to that mix. Nice spacing there on the 2S. Yo, Copters into the corner with the jump D. The first DP misses. That can't stop me. I'm gonna fucking do it again. Very familiar kind of vibe, especially for sim players, as yours truly has also been DPing once or twice in the past. Right, high blood here, forcing Maria to either play footsies or commit to these super jumps. Right, sliding into that blood-sucking universe. Basically guaranteeing a situation where if Yo doesn't DP out of that situation, you're probably gonna be looking at a, just a checkmate using the Beyblade and DP2 once again. Right, throw them. Safe jump is what Maria was gonna play. Oh my god, even the clone goes through that DP. Maria just is on a tear. Somebody stop her. Please, let Yo play. Let this poor guy play. But Maria is gonna say no. No mercy whatsoever. There's a really nice kind of rhythm to Maria's corner pressure. A good split between trying to bait the DPs or the counterattacks and then just, standing at the right spacing and making Yo just not be able to press anything at all. And then on a moment's notice, pouncing into the blood-burning options and finding the last hits. And it would look like we are going into that exact same situation. Yo reaching for that throw, but there is no Nagoriyuki to be found. And now Maria arriving to the set point position. Once again, 6-2 is the name of the game. Gosh, every single game going 6-2 tonight. And now, what's the last RPS? 2D. Able to poke Maria out of that 5K. But not even 50 meter to their name. It's a big, heavy starter, and Maria does not falter, does not hesitate. Unleashes the big possible combo that gets Yo to the wall, gets the game, and that's all that she wrote.
Nagoriyuki wins.
But very entertaining plays from our first timer Yo here on Bounty Hunters. A very entertaining match as well. So really hope to see Yo back for another match in the future with a further calibrated seed, I guess, if we want to call them seeds. The matchup information that is the Bounty Hunters seeds. that resides inside yours truly's head. Alright, but we got one more for the road. It's gonna be that guy Pokey. I want to check, when was the last time that Pokey lost on Bounty Hunters? For it's been quite some time, I want to say. It's been 1, 2... I mean, I guess we don't have to go too far for, like... Pokey's technically only on a 2-game win streak. They had a very close loss against Volten at the end of the last year. But other than that, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it's like, other than the loss against Volten, it's 6 wins before that and 2 wins since that. So that's the kind of, you know, that's the kind of presence that Pokey is commanding in his skill bracket at the moment. Let me give the players a call. Got Pokey in the lobby already. With the abs out. Cool guys lying on the floor. Oh yeah, I was kind of sad for Pokey because we were talking about we were talking about D&D earlier this week, and he was really excited to get like first session of D&D rolling. But since that fell through, was actually able to participate on Bounty Hunters and make this matchup happen. So Pokey from Germany, Zat representing Finland. One more for the road. Is Zat gonna have what it takes to tame this absolute nasty monster that is Pokey Anji? Pokey, of course, a player who has really great execution, really great confidence, really great, you know, varies their options at neutral, goes for really high reward options and able to, you know, swing games in their favor due to those options. So basically, Pokey basically plays Anji to Anji's advantages. Anji by nature is a very risk-heavy character, very gamble-ish character. Speaking of, sometimes, you know, you gotta gamble to get out of this situation. Swings through the projectile portion of the super. And Pokey, oh Pokey. This is basically the stuff that we're gonna be seeing for the rest of the evening. Pokey with a couple of really great defensive reads, dancing through stuff, getting big starters, and decimating Zach with a couple of fast combos. Good RPS once again, 6p against Mad Love. Works like a charm. Overhead RC into a big wall break. One more hit. What's the mix-up gonna be? Ooh, okay, that was kind of great. Zach recognizes that the dive kick was available here and is able to momentarily evade. Oh, but the second hit, it hits twice. I think if the parry super is unleashed like so, you would probably have to punish between the hits because the second hit on block is safe, right? I'm pretty sure Kato who gets to on block is if you trigger it like that and it gets blocked, it's gonna be safe. Is it even plus? No way it's plus though. Alright, good timing on the pokes. So basically the crux of Anji matchup is timing of your strikes. You will not be able to stop Anji from pressing spin at neutral, but what you can do is you can RPS for big rewards. Anji always at a counter hit recovery out of the, outside of the active parry frames. So if you can predict when he is, before he gets it started or before he recovers out of that, if you can time your strikes as so, you can score some really massive damage against Anji. -1 on block? Alright, I'll commit that to memory. Alright, dive out of the corner. Finding the hit, RC as well. That is potentially holding onto the full burst here, but choosing to save it till a better day. For bursting here would have been a really tough comeback for Zat. Ooh, tried to shmoo, but Poki was ready with that 5B again! And again, 3 times in a row, G! Poki with the sense for the anti-airs. I mean, it kind of does make sense if Ino is moving around and not going into one of her better hitboxes, her jump-in hitboxes, then standing pokes that reach as far away as possible are a very, very nice option to play for sure. And a very damaging options as well, as 6Ps in Strive generally, unless you're one of the more queer characters that somehow get massive rewards out of 6Ps, you're generally not gonna see a lot of damage coming out of 6Ps otherwise. 5Ps would be the more damaging options as far as, standard anti-airs go. Now Zat having some success with the wall break, finds a 2S counter hit into another wall break potentially. No, just drops poke just before the wall break. Ooh, nice whip punish, but not leading into much from that maximum distance. Jump D rings through, big counter hit, and Zat starting out this round just as the last one. Fuji not getting a clean hard knockdown, so not able to quite run the pressure that Poki was looking for. Good knowledge there on Zat, jumping out of Shin and avoiding the plus frames. The more advanced version of that RPS is if you jump with your opponent and actually air-to-air them up. Oh, but Poki, hold on a moment, goes into the super really fast, and should be the kill, yes indeed. No difficult combos required, just cash out immediately. Right, round star spin into a fish, knocking Zat down. Ooh, okay. So point blank the what's that called? God, I'm so bad at Anji's move names. Nagiha on point blank would be punishable, but unless if Zat recognizes that they are not going to be close enough to pull through with like a 2K or something, I think the next best thing is to just go for a float dash and start mixing up your opponent, as Zat did before. Overhead. Oh, is that going to be a kill? I think that's going to be a kill. Poki has so many resources. And the attempt to get on board has been once again thwarted by Poki. It's the great massive rewards and the great timings of the buttons. Poki, usually when Poki is pressing buttons, he is pressing with a purpose. Right, 2P into Fujin, does not get Poki out of the corner. Red Wild Assault, get the hard knockdown, exactly what we need for this set playing witch. It was a really tricky looking hit, but luckily Zat was doing kind of option select there, in case the opponent was in a weird place. we go. Once again, if you can't get the hard punish, just get your mix-up game started. Press forward 2 times, and you can fly. Alright, good interruption there. Nice! Nice delay. This time doesn't activate the parry frames of the super. And in fact, getting a corner coast to coast. And now trying to coast to a victory. However, Pokey says, no sir, I'm gonna go with a 2P. Has to RC this for, if not, there would have been a punish. Oh, Pokey with the double jump. Oh, that was an interesting sequence. Instead of opting to air dash past that super, Pokey went with a double jump and then jump D to stall the air momentum. Ooh, big close slash, that should be the round. Comfortably converting into call, even before the wall gives in. Right, 5P mash there, finds a gap between the jump in button and a jump D for Ino. And with the improved routing, gets a meterless combo out of that Nagiha. Set up the Shitsu into... Ooh, was probably trying to chase. That kind of looked like that was going to be a air throw, that jump D, but who knows? Nice, it's completely nowhere to be found for that YRC hitbox. I think the YRC operates in sort of a proximity rule set in Guilty Gear Strive. So if you are too far away, even if you are kind of extending yourself into that YRC, it can just not be triggered. But then again, that time Pokey was just straight up in the air and there was no YRC to be had there. Close, stagger pressure, 6P preventing Zat from jumping out of the corner, and the icing on the cake, the burst fades. Pokey is just absolutely on a tear tonight, as he has been for, you know, since the start of 2024 and before that. Hell, Pokey has been on a tear for the whole duration of 2023 even. But now Zat, time to play some Ino gameplay, or show the stream some Ino gameplay, get the mix, get the set play, get the wall carry. But does fly into the Kacho Hugetsu now. With the Kara Nagiha able to reach from surprising distances in the new Season 3. Triggering the parry frames into the fish, gets a combo out of that actual. Oh, but Zat! It's Zat's time to go for a very nice bait. And recognizes I can just go for a super here for the kill. Right, recognizing that was not going to be airtight, so opens up with a reversal 6P, back turn, in there. The shit, is that a bluff? That kind of looks like a bluff. I think Pokey would have to take a... If you're like a point blank distance there, then the butterfly is just going to fly off screen and never trigger. Alright, slap them off the wall. Zat at a very low health. Can we go under that maybe? Nope. Just uses 100 meter for the fan super RC. And even after that, look at how much meter Pokey has. That's the power of positive bonus in Guilty Gear Strive. Dear fucking lord. My goodness. Guilty Gear Strive, are you okay? Ishiwatari's vision with the massive meter return. That was, I think Pokey was also on like the maximum, whatchamacallit, tension, what's it called? Tension pulse? That's one of the names for a dear child. Alright, back throw. Unfortunate incident for Zat. And Pokey's gonna cash out immediately into the super. Looking for one more hit. Zat has a couple of reversals available. I mean, this is definitely not a real reversal, I think. But it did catch Pokey off guard. And it is 0 frames after the flash, so if you're already not jumping out, or if your melee was delayed, then absolutely Ino can super grab you out of that. But we're gonna get more. We're gonna need more than that. Zat has gotten rounds here and there, but never the 2 in a row that you need to get on board here. Fish set up into Shitsu. And now, with shenanigans. Cost quite a bit of meter for Poki to go for that, but hey, as long as we can keep the opponent in the corner. However, here's a big corner to corner, the red Wild Assault Witch, able to pull, or able to convert pretty much any hit into massive corner carries. Don't often need even more than just the one charge of the Wild Assault. Right, last second burst, Poki using a lot of meter to get into this close distance, plus frames punch in. Backdash out of the minus frames, backdash again. Oh, Hujin actually powering through that chemical love. And Poki, what a robbery that was. That was a massive comeback. And really could showcase how you can never count Anji out. You give him one opportunity. And I think Ino's not one of the like, Ino is great at making comebacks as well, but it generally comes from, first being able to get some sort of a heart knockdown. She's good when she is already in there, but to get in there is a little tricky. All right, but Zat, better late than never. This is where the comebacks generally start. This is where the greatest of comebacks generally start. We still have a couple of buffer games okay to be lost for Zat. And from Poki's point of view, oh, look at that 2P anti-air. Ino is another character that you generally kind of would love to have a, slightly faster anti-air against rather than 6Ps. Due to the nature of her float dash and how her, mix-ups are structured. So if your character has a nice conversion out of a 2P or maybe 5P, and if they have, decent enough hitboxes, then you would probably autopilot into those anti-air options. And RPS options as well, if you're RPSing against the forward dash. Ooh, but again, OTG was gauging to get the kill there, not quite. Zat, however, has unleashed the full burst bar, is trying to steal this back. Let's see if Zat can actually do this. The counter run back against Poki's run back earlier. So far, so good. Positive bonus, but look at this, the resources on Poki. Yeah, I think just the fact that Poki had so many resources left to spend put some bit of uncertainty probably in the back of Zat's mind, which made him run the post wall break setup not very airtight, right? Which in turn allowed Poki to just press close slash. Hey, I'm just gonna press my biggest startup button, or sorry, biggest starter button rather. And now just like that, Poki getting to the 6 points here. Right, good mixes. With the step and a hop forward, Zat coming in with the set play once again. Nice conversions. Poki was in the air there, so not the easiest conversion to make, depending on what you choose to media the opponent with. All right, we're definitely gonna need way more of these for Zat. Nice good punish there on the round start. However, Poki, this is where it starts. This is where Poki has been so dangerous. Make the butterflies fly. Throw loop. In my Guilty Gear Strive? More likely than you think. And then playing with the with the strike option, going in with the overhead 5D. I mean, you can technically react to that, but how willing are you to wait for that reaction when your opponent has just thrown you 4 times in a row or more? Set point for Pokey. Is our Finnish hero gonna be able to fight out of this sticky situation? Or is Pokey just gonna fucking roll over? Roll over? Not roll over. Steam roll over. That's what I wanted to say. Ah, the momentum hold in the air. I guess the spin as well. Overhead fully charged. This time Zat stands up. Ooh, here we go. With a float dash. Pokey does not believe in Zat's setup. Not at all. Zat is getting a lot of really good full screen pokes in, but none of them converting into realistic massive damage. And at the very end, Pokey getting a really nice cudgel who gets it there. And that'll be that. Pokey taking another head home, 7-5. Oh my goodness. He is good. You know what? You know what, chat room? I think Pokey is in due for some mother freaking top level players. I think the matchmaking team of bounty hunters has been way too gentle for way too long for the kind of nasty ass sick player that Pokey is. Maybe next time it's gonna be really tough. All right, but that'll be all of our matchups for tonight. A little different. We had a lot of let's put it like this. We had a lot of matchups where runbacks were imminent, but didn't necessarily quite manifest as they have in the recent weeks. However, show must go on, and we will keep building the best and the most even matchups next Sunday as well. As you may know, we do this every week, Sunday, 5 p.m. CET. If you want to join the fun, you can join my Discord, for instance. That's one way to get the sign-up forms and also to get all the information regarding the matchmaking and the like. That said, let's see if I could send you somewhere nice where they play Guilty Gear Strive. So our options are a little limited. A couple friends of the stream are playing different games. BJ is actually playing Plus R. That's kind of cool. Let's see in the Strive category. I see Duck is streaming some sort of an event, as far as I can understand. So that might be a fun thing to watch, perhaps. I'll send you guys over there. But that said, it's a farewell till next Sunday. Once again, thank you for watching, thank you everybody for playing, and thank you for participating in Guilty Gear Strive and Guilty Gear Strive related activities. Till next week, stay safe, play Guilty Gear, and peace.